What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 community area-only battle. Things are going crazy right now. The Vandals just died. It took them long enough. More importantly, I just see here the Samoans have infantry, so they are still keeping up with Vietnam, at least for now. I think the Viet Cong might be Vietnam infantry replacements, though, so maybe I'm wrong there. But I'm not 100% what they replaced. I think they replaced Marines, which is even more advanced, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But obviously, there's lots of paths later on in the tech tree. Anything could happen. Vietnam are still going after Japan, the southern city of Kagoshima. This war actually only just broke out, because obviously last video we only went through 2 turns. It wasn't a lot. So it's still early days in that war. Other stuff, that we've got Ethiopia making some gains. They took southern Italy. They then took Hipporegius here, the former Vandals' capital. So they now have a border with the Papal States, who we can't forget they're also at war with. So Ethiopia really starting to flex their muscles a little bit. Belgium really need to do something, and this just isn't going to work. The Huns are trying. It's not going their way, even with their new air force, which isn't really doing that much by the look of it. I don't think they have any great war bombers either. They have one. That's not enough. Plus, Byzantium suddenly has upgraded a lot of their Galeuses to frigates. These will be obviously ranged attacking the units, making it very difficult. The Soviets and the Moors have pretty much killed each other's units out here in the east, and Stalin actually has planes. That is incredible, and that's going to really hurt Austria's effort to cross the sea. Finally, a siege has actually begun here. Not sure how successful it will be, but it's the first real effort from Belgium, who's yet to have planes. Maybe Belgium lack oil? Because, like, Belgium you'd expect to have planes. Like, there's no way they're that far behind the Moors. So, yeah, probably a lack of oil for Belgium, the more I think about it. Unless, does the ironclad need oil? I mean, even if it does, maybe they have one oil and they used it all on an ironclad. Kagoshima has fallen, the southernmost of Japan's islands, to Vietnam. I'm not sure if Vietnam are going to be able to continue going any further, because Japan have fought back pretty hard. And they might still actually be able to hold on to take this back, so we'll see. Lots of peace deals for the Vandals. We'll see. Get a RIP down below for the Vandals. Short-lived. They might be like one of the last civs to actually completely die. I mean, the Shoshone, I imagine, will go at some point before the end. Texas, you have planes, don't you? Yeah, they're okay, the Moors are actually could end up taking this from Texas, who have got no real navy. They got a frigate. I mean, that's not really enough. The Moors could actually have some luck here. There is an Australian-Polynesian war. Polynesia should be fine. Let's see how Ethiopia do this turn, because I also saw Adrianople here, although there's no siege units nearby, no health, there's also no Byzantine units defending, so I think we could see Ethiopia sneak in here pretty much undetected and potentially grab all of Greece for themselves too, and at that point Southern Europe will be very much Ethiopian, and obviously Moorish out here to the west, but that's going to be interesting. How are the Incans doing? Okay, they've not had a good time. They've sort of tried to attack all 3 cities at once in Argentina, despite having almost 0 units, except a couple of frigates have held them off. But either way, the Incans now looking very strong with all the land they gained in the northern tip of South America. Brazil are sending stuff towards the Moors, sorry. Not really going their way, though. Not having a good time with it. Mali have planes, so it's so close. Nigeria have planes. Well, wow. It's just people you wouldn't expect. I don't think Rhodesia do. Of all the people I would expect to have them, Rhodesia don't. Burundi aren't there either yet, but we see Great War Infantry for Burundi too, so it's really close. The Soviet Union has peaced out with the Moors. They didn't give any cities away in the peace deal, which is good, but they didn't gain Leningrad back either. It still sits here pretty safe. How does that... That doesn't change things. Belgium versus Byzantium. It puts the pressure on Byzantium, who are now starting to lose stuff to the Huns by the look of it. Looks like Ethiopia are probably assisting here, but then again the Huns can bomb it themselves. But yeah, Byzantium, more pressure on them. I don't think Belgium will actually come over here, but it is not the best situation, and Kagoshima was retaken by Japan. I mean, Vietnam are going now, and yep, they take it straight back, and they have another big force arriving, because the initial force that was attacking has all but been destroyed, except for the ironclad and the battleships. The issue now is Japan have no longer got a melee unit on the island to actually take Kagoshima back. So it looks like it will be staying Vietnamese now, and these battleships definitely doing the work. And there's probably some more. Actually, it doesn't look like there's more. There's one more, but it's not. They're not using that one. See, these battleships, they may not seem like much, but right now they are like the flagship unit that Vietnam have got in this game. Like, no one else can match that. And that is a big issue for Samoa, who are stuck on galleasses still. They're very lucky Australia are going for Polynesia, although one thing Samoa does have is a few submarines. They can obviously shoot down frigates, or sink frigates very easily. They're not shooting them down. They're shooting them down to the bottom of the ocean, I guess. Rome is going to fall very soon. Ethiopia are putting in the work there. I think there's going to be some big change across North Africa, Southern Europe, and the Middle East, and up towards Ukraine and the Caucasus Mountains. That's Caucasus Mountains, whatever. Never mind. That was the worst pronunciation. I knew straight away. I was just trying to remember. I'm not even sure. I might have got it right the first time, but I'm pretty sure that's a food as well. Not that I eat it a lot, whatever. But we'll find out. There's 4 cities. Well, not this one. I think this is recovering. But there's 4 sieges ongoing. Technically 5 if you include Benevento, which is starving to the ground right now. Babylon have peaced out with the Sioux. Good job, Babylon. You're clinging on here. You know, they're going to cling on, and as soon as the world discovers there's a ton of oil here, Ethiopia and Vietnam are going to be all over that. There was a weird game before, wasn't there, where Vietnam controlled parts of the Middle East? I remember that. I don't know which game it was, but it was a very weird game. I'll give you that. India and Babylon are all that separate our two powers, basically. I mean, Ethiopia and Vietnam are pretty close anyway. So I think we will see the two powers. They may never go to conflict. I mean, that rarely happens, but it's still going to be so interesting as the game goes on. If Babylon was to potentially fall to Ethiopia, and obviously if Vietnam, a war with India would be very costly. Like, India has so many land units, and Vietnam don't actually have that many land units. It's more naval and air strength now for them. Which obviously air will help, but naval not so much, especially since, I mean, India's cities which are coastal, the main one, Mumbai, is on the west. So they could take this island, but I'm not sure how important that is to India overall. Yeah, Vietnam with a lot of control now of islands. Just obviously Beijing is an amazing city as well here at 22 population, but just generally really strong. Japan, please don't put all your artillery in the sea. This is a suicide mission. Don't do this. You may as well just keep these on the island where they're good at shooting stuff, because these battleships can just literally sit here and pick them off. Probably need to get a bit closer, but next turn, that probably will start. Incans are trying, it's still not going their way. Brazil aren't going to have much luck here. I don't think the Moors actually do have boats here, which means they would just be picking them off. But that did mean the Moors stopped attacking Texas. Interesting turn of events. The Sioux are trying again, but they're actually level on tech with the Shoshone. It's incredible, because the Sioux have got really high production. They just have terrible technology up here in the tundra. I mean, the Iroquois have fallen right out of it now. They're almost similar to the Sioux. So, the Sioux actually have a settler. I don't know whether they'll settle with it, but that would be cool, I guess. Is the map going to fill up? There's a few blank spots in the map. They're in North America. There's one between Texas's borders here, which will fill up soon. There's bits up here in the tundra of North America, and there's also stuff around the tundra and deserts of northeastern Asia. And there's also a bit here which the Huns, Mongolia, Vietnam and India will slowly grab. Africa, Europe all seems pretty full. There's actually there's one tile in Italy there. That's weird. Ethiopia, yeah, definitely probably gonna... Oh, I think Ethiopia might grab 2 cities at the end of this turn. We'll see. I'm not sure how far this cavalry will be able to move. I think it may not be able to do it, but they're very close. They've got 3 melee units now on this bit of land. Samoa versus the Zulu. That would matter, but it doesn't. Like, it could, there was a slight chance something would have happened, but looking at it, no, there's no way. Samoa does have stuff over here. This is going to be annoying. They're just going to shoot down and sink Zulu boats and units, which is going to be a pain, but it's not, they're not going to take anything. So that's good news for Shaka, I guess. Africa looks like it's heading for one massive war. Like, I can just see it. Ethiopia currently are fully invested up north, apart from this army of frigates, which is huge. But apart from that, they don't have that much left behind land-wise. And you look at Nigeria, Mali, Burundi, Rhodesia, even Shaka, not so much, but Rhodesia, Burundi, Nigeria, and Mali, you feel like that could just fall apart at any point. And Ethiopia will either well, Ethiopia will probably just go in and pick up all the pieces. I mean, that, and grab everything. The city of Azure is down very low on health now. The Huns don't have a melee unit nearby, though. This siege has fallen on its face again, so Byzantium will hold on to these two cities. Constantinople is still pretty safe, although all of Byzantium's naval strength in the Mediterranean is gone. Do still have a lot of boats in the Black Sea, all but 3 tiles of the Black Sea filled with Byzantine boats. Stalin is still fighting Austria, who of course are actually behind, like severely behind. I thought they would have caught up at least a little bit tech-wise, because people like Nigeria have good technology. I'm just surprised Austria don't. I mean, their cities are all relatively big, so the fact that they're still using riflemen is embarrassing, really. Belgium is actually sending stuff this way. Why don't you just peace out with the Moors? Like, seriously, you don't need to be at war. I mean, if you go after Byzantium, it's going to be weird anyway. But, you know, you may as well. May as well just peace out. But let's see. This is it for Ethiopia. I think we're probably going to see them take Rome. That's... Maybe they won't take Rome. It depends if they're using their planes or not. But I feel like they are. I think they'll take Rome. And then they'll get very close. They'll get enough units within 1 tile of Adrianople. That means next turn they will probably take it. Unless they take it now. Here we go. This is it. Ethiopia denounce Brazil. Mali denounce Rhodesia. That could be it. Could be the big war. Congo. Congo's not here anymore. We don't talk about them. Come on, Ethiopia. Does it really take this long? Wow, we've got through 3 turns so far this video. That's amazing. But this is very enjoyable, so don't worry, it's not going anywhere. Probably tried to get to 350 in videos, which a lot can happen in that time, so don't worry. And, oh, okay, other way around. Rome will fall next video. I don't think Austria can take it. I don't know if they ever pieced out. They might have done. Adrianople, though, and the whole of Greece, basically, has fallen to Ethiopia. That's a big development. Lots of control going to Ethiopia. And now Byzantium, Constantinople, for the first time in a while, is at threat of being taken out. Byzantium and Austria being, like, even remotely strong is amazing, by the way. Neither of them usually do anything. So the fact Byzantium's gone this far is great. The fact Austria are still here and may have to be the next line of defense for Europe against Ethiopia, because they found it pretty easy against Byzantium. They're going to take on Rome. For Ethiopia, I guess the next move after Byzantium and Rome wouldn't be Austria, the Moors, or Belgium. They're all going to be tough challenges. I mean, Belgium would be the easiest of those 3, I imagine. The Moors just don't really... They're not quite that close, and then Belgium don't really have a navy. Nigeria wouldn't be that easy. Mali definitely would be a grind, but it would be possible. Burundi again. Burundi is like... Ethiopia, you got to watch out for Burundi, because Burundi are strong. But they're not strong enough to launch an invasion on their own, but if Ethiopia get distracted and start struggling, or just, get their militaries far away, we might see Burundi just join in. Or if they were to even invade Burundi, it's going to be difficult because the geography here, these 2 cities, both ridiculously hard to take. And then these 3, I mean, they're close together, which doesn't help. And then this one, I mean, we saw how long it took Burundi to take this from a low-skilled Congo, low-teched Congo, so it won't be that difficult. I would imagine Babylon would be the next step. I mean, these frigates could easily just, like, take this, and obviously India, give them open borders, or if they get India to team up with them, nice and easy. India goes Order. So Order is still alive and kicking, and India probably have a lot of culture. Not culture, tourism, sorry. They're geared towards that. Rhodesia, Brazil, Texas, Australia, and India are currently... That is 1 from every continent, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it is. They just need a European communist team. Stalin, sadly... Did he betray them? Oh no, yeah, Stalin went autocracy. He was supposed to go Order. There should be a thing in that mod, like, he can only go Order. But, yeah. Okay, we just need a European to go. I don't think any of the Europeans haven't picked yet, though. That's the problem. I think, yeah, all the Europeans, I think, except Rome, have picked. And Rome aren't going to be around much longer. I say that, this Great War Infantry, they won't be able to take it this turn, so... Maybe they will be around for a bit longer. I wonder if Mali could sneak in here. I don't know if they're at war. I mean, how they got here, I don't know. They must have had open borders at Belgium for 1 point in time. Yeah, they're not going to be able to take it this turn, actually. which is a shame. We'll have to wait till the next episode. It's always been coming. The Papal States, I was begging for ages for them to be destroyed. Looks like it's finally... Yeah, it's going to be next turn, isn't it? Either way, we might start to see them use their planes on Byzantium, and that would be major. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.